Now, where do we go after we played that A minor 7 flat 5 chord 5 times correct? Where do we go? Not back to the top, not back 8 measures, not back 4 measures, not back 3 measures, not back 2 measures, back 1 measure. 1 measure.
All the information in the world is not really going to do much unless you're practicing it correctly. So, do you know how to practice? Do you know if what you're practicing and the way that you're practicing is actually leading to optimal results? Or are you wasting lots and lots of time? Because you might be able to achieve your dream and your goal in a much shorter time, like years, just by using some of the practice habits that I'm about to show you in this podcast lesson. My name is Brendan Lowe, creator and founder of JazzPianoSchool.com. In this particular podcast lesson, I'm going to show you the 5 practice habits that completely transformed my playing. And I know if you integrate these, it's going to do the same thing for you. Don't forget to go to JazzPianoSchool.com to check out all the other free education we have available. And if you're looking to take some next steps in your jazz piano journey, we do have a membership, many courses, and even live teaching programs available as well. With that being said, let's dive right in.
All right, practice habit number 1 that completely transformed my practice. So let's say you are working on an improvisational line, something like this. Let's say you're doing this, right? So you have a chromatic movement down into the 3rd, some scalar motion back up to the 5th, a little skip there, walking down into the root, and then another full bebop approach that's going to surround that G. So micro wins here, micro wins. If you are practicing this, right, what I would do is I would start to work on this line, and then I'd make a mistake. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll try it again. Whoops, no, I made a mistake. I would get it right. Okay, cool, I'll try it again. Whoops, I'd make a mistake. So these little tiny mistakes in between the wins kind of are muddying up essentially the way that you're building momentum, how you feel, what your body is internalizing. We need more than just 1 micro win before we leave the piano. We need at least 5, at least 5. So when you go to practice something, whether it's a chord, a voicing, and this is very specific to a tool, right? It's not like a performance-based aspect. It's more if you are practicing some sort of specific chord change. Like if I'm practicing this chord or this chord here, I would need to play that chord or an exercise at least 5 times right to create a string of micro wins. Micro wins. Whoops, no. So again, 5 times in a row. Now this string of micro wins is so helpful for our mind, our body, our feeling in our body, our feeling in just like our dexterity and the way that we are able to kind of spontaneously play something, because we don't want to be thinking about it. We want to be literally just internalizing it. And that 5 micro win string is really going to help us do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Then I could get up from the piano. I would get up from the piano, but don't get up from the piano leaving with a couple of mistakes, right, in your practice for whatever tool it is you're working on. Because I promise you, when you come back to try it again, it's going to be the same and probably worse, okay? So that's going to be number 1. Now, number 2 is going to be rhythm and ritual. Rhythm and ritual. So I was practicing at very scattered times. Sometimes I'd practice on Mondays, and then I would skip a day. I would go to Wednesdays, but I'd practice for 2 hours, and then I'd practice for like maybe 30 minutes the next day, and then I'd skip Friday and Saturday, right? So my schedule was all over the place, okay? What I did is I changed to very consistent ritual of practicing, and this helped me tremendously. So if you're putting your practice sessions at spontaneous times of day, when you feel like it, when you don't. Oh, I feel like going to sit down at the piano today. I don't. Please try to change that, because I promise you, if you set an intention to practice, even if it's less than you're normally practicing, like even if it's just 15 minutes, but you do it consistently in some sort of structured fashion every single day at the same time, it's in your calendar, it's an appointment you need to make for yourself, this is going to drastically change things. And if you can do that for at least 3 months, you're going to see more progress than you ever have before. So here's what I recommend doing. Again, just put an appointment in your calendar for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, the same time every single day. Now, if you can't make that, I know some people's schedules are crazy. What I'd recommend doing is, even if you can't do every day, do every other day, or have just some sort of consistency. So maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or maybe it's just Tuesday, Thursday. Whatever it is, try to always do it on the same day at the same time. All right, try to have some sort of consistent thread through all of that. Okay, that's number 2. Really try to build that in. Number 3 is going to be, essentially, I'm going to go to a chart right now and talk to you about the ghosting method. So, not that. The ghosting method is going to be this. So many times, if I'm playing through some portion of the nearness of you or any chart, right? We have the C minor, F7. Playing this as a B flat major 7. Let's say we get to this A minor 7 flat 5 into this D7 flat 9 flat 13, right? So we go, and let's say we miss the A minor 7 flat 5. Let's say we play or something like that, and then we go, oh, okay, wait. No, okay. Wait, no. Okay, I kind of got it, and then we move on, right? Like, clearly that needs some practice, and maybe the D7 practice needs practice as well, okay? I'm sorry, the D7 chord needs practice as well. So what most students do in this case is they'll try to maybe play the line again, right? And then they play the wrong chord again, right? So the ghosting method here is, do not play anything that you're practicing until you know what the notes are by ghosting them, okay? So the ghosting technique allows your body to not learn mistakes. Every time you play a mistake, you're essentially training your body, right, that chord is the chord that's supposed to be right. Your hands, the feeling, your mind, you're essentially teaching your brain to play mistakes the more mistakes you play. So how can we start to limit that, right? The way that we do that is through the ghosting technique. So we go back. Now, when we get to this A minor 7 flat 5, I'm going to literally just put my hand over the chord. And I'm going to look at all the notes that I'm about to play in my hands. I'm literally staring at them right now. A, G, C, E flat, G, C. And I ask myself, are these the right notes? Do I know in my head that these are the right notes? Do I know? And what you're going to do is, when you can confidently say, yes, I know that what I'm about to play is the right voicing, then, and only then, you can press the keys down to play the chord. Boom, right? Same thing for the D minor 7 flat 5. Instead of trying to guess at the voicing that you're playing, you are going to ghost the voicing. I need a flat 9, I need a flat 13, I need my shells, and maybe a root in there, right? I have my hand over top of the notes. I'm looking at my hand. Are these the notes that are correct? Are these the notes that are going to produce that chord when I play them right now? And if you are not 100% confident that they are, you need to sit there until you are. You need to literally sit there and learn or know or just kind of research, I guess, and learn what are the correct notes, right? And this goes for any practice you do. So if you're practicing, again, maybe like a fourth voicing through the keys here, right? When you go to practice, don't practice through the keys and then, oh, made a mistake. Oh, made a mistake. Oh, made a mistake. Every time you play those mistakes, you're literally teaching yourself more and more mistakes. You're digging yourself a deeper grave, because to get out of those mistakes, you have to do 3 to 5 times more work to play the correct thing to unteach yourself the mistakes. Does that make sense? So if you move to a chord and you don't know what the notes are in that chord, do not play the chord. Just do not play the chord. Now, this is going to take the utmost discipline and patience from you as a human being. I understand that, right? But I promise you, if you can follow this method, you will make more progress than you ever have in your entire life. This could be the single most best practice habit I get you into in this podcast. So again, I'm going to move to my F minor 7. I'm going to ghost the notes. I know that what I'm about to play is correct, so I am going to play. And I'm going to move to my B flat minor 7. I know without a doubt, without a sliver of a doubt, that the chord I'm about to play is correct. So I'm going to play, boom, E flat minor 7, boom, D minor 7, boom, C sharp, boom. Right? I know confidently, but I do not play. When I used to practice, I used to make mistakes, and this completely changed everything I was doing, and I made so much progress so much faster. Okay? So that is a great one. The next thing I'm going to go to here is the record and review. Okay? Was that 3? That was 2? Yes, this is going to be 3. So the record and review. Think about this. You have to record yourself and listen back to yourself to be able to assess what's happening. Because when you're in the moment playing, it's a completely different ballgame, right? Think about some sort of sports player and think about coaches and feedback and the way that athletes get feedback, or anyone gets feedback. Now, in the game situations when they're playing, they cannot review the game and analyze themselves as they're playing, right? The whole purpose there is performance-based, right? It's to optimally perform as best as possible. What happens is they go back and watch video of themselves. They review themselves with coaches. In practice, they have coaches giving them feedback because they can't see themselves. They're executing certain steps. Now, it's the same thing in the piano. Even though you can hear yourself, right? In the moment, there's so many sensory things that are happening because you're in live time, you're playing and you're practicing. Even if you're practicing, right? There's so many different things. So you have to record yourself and spend at least 5 to 10 minutes going back, even in your practicing, right? Even in your practicing. So record what you're practicing. So if you're practicing any sort of thing, record it. Record. Let's say you're practicing this line. Right? If you're practicing this, you need to record it and then go back. Am I playing it right? If you're practicing your pocket or your groove over a blues, right? Right? If I'm practicing like my improv solo, literally in the moment, even for me, I would go back and listen to what I just played and be like, I was kind of out of the pocket there. I could have done this. So you have to record and review yourself constantly. Anytime you're practicing, anytime you're playing. What I did was I always had a recording device. This was back in the day. I had a tape recorder, and I would hit record on my tape recorder, right? So we have phones. We have all sorts of recording devices. This should be a no negotiation here, right? Everyone has their phone on them at all times. Put your phone on and record yourself every single time you play and listen back and analyze what's going on. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but this is going to drastically help you. Okay? All right. So the next one I'm going to talk to you about is the 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was 4. I'm sorry. I did micro wins. I'm just making sure. Practice routine, ghost method, record and review. Okay, this is number 5. My bad. So here is the last one, number 5. This is going to be the way that you practice an element, and I call this the practice backward method. So many times, I'm going to take the nearness of you again. I'm going to take the same section, A minor 7 flat 5. I see so many times I see students do this. They'll be playing. And again, I used to do this too as well. They get to that tricky chord or that tricky voicing, right? Oops. Okay, no, I didn't get that right. Then what happens is they go all the way back to the top of the tune, right? And this holds true for so many things, whether it's a full key exercise, right? And maybe you get to like, I don't even know, your G flat minor 7, and you play, oh, okay, let me start again. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Here's my G flat again. Oh, shoot, I made a mistake. Back to C. C, F. Please, 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 please change this immediately, okay? The practice backward method. All right, so on the A minor 7 flat 5, first of all, we need to use the ghosting technique. This is kind of like a combo ritual, routine. Ghost the notes and then play them. Ghost the notes, play them. Ghost the notes, play them. Ghost the notes, play them. Yes, ghost the notes, play them. How many times? 5 times. 5 times, right? 5 times correct. That'll be the lucky number for you. Now, where do we go after we played that A minor 7 flat 5 chord 5 times correct? Where do we go? Not back to the top, not back 8 measures, not back 4 measures, not back 3 measures, not back 2 measures, back 1 measure. 1 measure. This is the practice backward method. We're going to go back 1 measure. Okay, that's it. 1 measure. So we're going to go to the B flat major 7 chord. I know it just says B flat. And I'm going to try to hit that correct. Okay, now if I don't hit it correct, what do I do again? 5 times. Right. Correct. 3, 4, 5. Okay, back 1 measure. Oh, amazing. I got it that time. Now what do? I got it back 1 measure. Where do we go? Not to the top, not back 8 measures, not back 4 measures, not back 3 measures. Now we go back 2 measures. We go back 2 measures from the mistake that we made. So I'm going to go back to the F7 chord. So now I start from the F7 chord. Great. I got it. Perfect. Now where do you think we go? That's right. Back 3 measures now. Back 3 measures. Now 4 measures is the lucky number. If you can consistently play through 4 measures 5 times correct, okay, and hit that A minor 7 flat 5 chord correct 5 times back from 4 measures, then you can go back further. Okay, then you can test yourself and go back further. That's the lucky number. But let's say we go back 3 measures. So let's say we go to the F major 7. Right? And then we get to the A minor 7 and we fluff it up. Oh, shoot, right? I made a mistake. Okay, where do we go now? Okay, well, the very important thing here is we need to play that chord 5 times again. And guess what? We start over. We start over to build up the sequence, the 4-bar sequence again. So now we'll go back to the B flat. Okay, play it correctly. Okay, got that. F dominant 7. Okay, I got it that time. Now I'm going to go back to the F. Okay, I got it again. Great. Now that's 3 measures. So when I say 4 measures, I mean essentially 4 measures before you get to whatever chord it is. So technically I would need to go back 1 more, okay? And you can play around with this and take it 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no harm in doing that, right? But the lucky number is 4, and I would intentionally go back even further, all the way back through the entirety of the tune. So I'd stack on all of the measures playing before that mistake until I got to the very beginning, and then I'd play all the way through and make sure it was correct all the way back from the top. Okay, so just to review, number 1, the micro wins. Micro wins. Make sure that you play something 5 times correct, whether it's a chord, a voicing, 5 times. Right? Don't leave the piano with a couple of mistakes, like here and there. You get it right once, and then you make a mistake, then you get it right, and then you make a mistake twice more, and then you get it right once, right? And then you leave the piano. Well, there was a bunch of mistakes in there, right? You really need those micro wins consistently in a string of at least 5 times. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, same time ritual and consistent practice. This literally trains your body, it trains your mind, it trains your hands, everything. It trains the feeling of practicing at the same time. Even if it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your body actually starts learning better. It starts practicing better when you have something consistent in your calendar booked out. I promise you. Okay. Number 3, the ghost method. The ghost method. This one is so important in the practice backward method. So, ghost method, right? Ghost your chord. Ghost it. Chord. Right? I know exactly what notes I'm trying to play and practice for that chord I'm hitting in between my lick. Right? So I'm playing this kind of altered sound, sharp 9, flat 13, right? I'm ghosting it. Okay? Make sure if you're playing mistakes, you're playing stuff that's not what you're intending to play, use the ghost method. Use the ghost method so that you are only playing the chord or the line when you absolutely know it's going to come out when you press those notes 100% correct every time. Okay? And number 4, the record and review. Make sure you're constantly recording yourself and always listening back and analyzing. You got to record because you can't analyze in the moment. You have to separate those two. Record, practice, leave the piano or still sit at the piano for 10 minutes and listen to yourself. Take notes. Take a practice journal. I used to keep a practice journal and write notes down. Ooh, my comping, I'm playing way too many long comps. Ooh, I'm not catching any sharp 11s. Ooh, my groove is not happening in this type of key or something like that. I'd put notes down as I listened to my practicing, okay? And number 5, the practice backward method. Make sure you're practicing backward. Don't go back to the top. Don't go back to 8 bars. Don't go back to 4, 3, 2. You got to start playing the chord, ghosting it 5 times right, go back 1 bar. Right? You get that right, go back 2 bars. Get that right, go back 3, right? Go back 4 bars. And finally, that's the lucky number. If you can go back 4 bars before whatever it is you're trying to correct, that's going to be the lucky number that you can kind of start to move on from there because it really will be solidified. But again, if you want to go extra, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way back to the top like I used to do, go for it. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll talk to you later.
Want a clear roadmap for your jazz piano progress? Download our free Jazz Piano School flowchart. This will map out all the exact skills and tools you'll need to reach your jazz piano goals. Grab it for free by going to jazzpianoschool.com/flowchart or click the link in the show notes to get it now.